Hello. All right. So these are called literal equations, and not many people really like these because these are a little bit hard, but they're called literal equations. You're literally solving for whatever letter that they ask you for, and you got to get that by itself. So we have to get this y by itself. So we have to get rid of that denominator. So we have to times by 5. And remember, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we have to times that by 5. So we're going to have 5a equals x plus y. If we want to get y by itself, we got to get rid of this x. We got to bring this x to the other side. Remember, it's always c do. It's opposite. So if we see addition, we see addition. We do subtraction, see subtraction, do addition, see multiplication, do division. And if we see division, we do multiplication, see do. So now that cancels out. So we have 5a minus the x equals the y. We solved for y. That's all you need to do. But some kids, they don't like that. Solving for x. So we got to get x by itself. The first thing we want to do is get the c over to the other side. So we have y plus c equals ax. A is touching x. That means multiplication. So we have to solve it with the opposite, which is division. So we have to divide by the a. Divide that whole side by the a. So x equals y plus c over a. Just like that. Moving on to the bottom one. We got to solve for b. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this h. We're going to divide it out because it's being multiplied. So we get rid of it. So we have b plus c over a h. And we have to get that by itself. So we're going to subtract out the c. So we have b. We have a over h minus c equals b. All right. So not too shabby so far. Let's look at a few more. Solving for y at the top. Minus out the ax, minus out the ax, by equals c minus ax. We got to get the y by itself, so we have to divide by the b. So y equals c minus ax over b. All right, so our next one, draw a line, we're going to get the x by itself. Well, there's x here, there's x here. So I'm going to bring this x over to this side. So I'm going to have ax plus cx plus b equals d. I'm going to move the b over to this side because I want the x's by itself. So ax plus cx equals d minus b. Well, I've got x's here again, so we're going to look at a thing called greatest common factor. And these two have an x in common, so I'm going to pull it out. If I take the x out of this by division, I'm left with a plus c inside. And now I got to get the x by itself. So I'm going to divide by the thing touching the x, which is the a plus c. Divide by the a plus c. X equals d minus b over a plus c. Looks weird, but that's what we do. Solving for a. Plus c, b plus c equals a squared. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. So I can do a square root around that and a square root around that. A square root around a square pulls out the whatever's inside by itself, and this side must stay in. These are called literal equations. And as always, I love Diet Coke and CrossFit.